I want to talk about Elon Musk, and he's been speaking out recently. If you haven't seen that, I actually talked about it in favor of the truckers, in favor of independent thought, in in favor of freedom, which is not something to be taken lightly. If somebody is that powerful, the richest guy in the world is talking about freedom, he must be protected at all costs. I don't care if he's a billionaire. I hope we all can agree on that. The thing about Elon Musk is he's so smart, but he's also humble that you can challenge him. As long as you're talking about logic and facts, you can challenge this guy. Tweets are fine, Elon Musk, but you can dramatically change the political and cultural landscape this way. Buy and take over a major social media platform. Acquire or create a TV network like ABC, NBC, or CBS. Create a world-class online university and offer degrees for free. What we're seeing here is a challenge from Dinesh and also respect. Dinesh is showing respect and also he's showing some trust. He's not going to ask a billionaire to do these things who he doesn't think will be open minded to his point of view. And what will that billionaire say? Don't ever let anyone tell you Twitter doesn't matter. We've got a conversation in public between Elon Musk and Dinesh D'Souza. Like, these are influential people having public conversations for everyone to see and like and retweet and talk about and share. They're not doing this on Instagram. Not like this. You might see more tea or something like that. Just that slide. Can we look at the monumental moment of that slide? And Twitter is a leftist platform and so many challenges and things that I don't like. YouTube, I've got an opportunity to talk to y'all right now. So I can complain all I want, but I will be grateful for this opportunity and leverage it while we have. But what Dinesh is talking about, though, is we need I'm not going to put words in his mouth. I think he's going down the lines of parallel economies. So while I'm grateful for, even though we're kind of like the rebels on these social media company platforms, we got to have a backup. We got to have an alternate universe. We got to have a Gab. We got to have a Getter. We've got to have the Truth. We got to have all these different things. Elon Musk brought this topic up a while. He said he proposed the Texas Institute of Technology and Science. So this is the richest man in the world, one of the smartest men in the world. And he's making booby jokes on Twitter. Look at the acronym for the university. I'm thinking about starting this university, TITS. And he said the merch would be epic. He also tweeted that as well. So this is from the New York Post. They said it's not clear how serious the mega billionaire is. I'll tell you how serious he is, in my opinion. I follow him very closely. He's dead serious. I don't know how close he is. I don't know when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. But he is dead serious about something. That's what I'm talking about here. That's my whole topic here is Elon has to get involved. Others have to get involved. Trump has to get involved. Everybody's got to get involved. It's all hands on deck on this thing. I know it's challenging because we've got this segmentation in the alternative platforms. How many are there? I've been trying to upload. How much time am I going to spend to try to upload to Gab and Minds and Odyssey and BitChute and I mean, there's so many. I don't even know them all. Telegram. It's like, it's good to have options, but there's challenges with that too. So we've got to see who the winners are going to be out of that. Elon Musk has a reputation for joking. I know. And this is where he said it will have epic merch for the acronym. How many people? Elon Musk is so smart. Think about in your lives people who are just so smart. You're baffled by them. For me, I was watching Charlie Kirk yesterday, and he's just so well read, so knowledgeable. It's just like, wow, this is a dude right here. Even guys like Vosh, who I disagree with, and Destiny, like they read information to improve. They read information, soak it up. They're philosophers and they're smart, but they always seem like they have something off about them, right?
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines.
I'm playing this guy singing the Dr. Fauci song, and I just picture him as probably a smart dude. I don't know him at all. But my point is, I think smart people can be different. They're special. And this guy is a smart guy with 72.4 million followers on Twitter. He takes jokes. Anything he does is a joke. His car model. We were talking about Tesla earlier. Tesla Models S. It was supposed to be the Model 3. The Model E, but I believe it was Ford that took it first. So he went with the backwards E, the 3. SEXY. Those are the cars they have right now. Spells sexy. He's big on Doge or Doggy coin. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's a joke coin. There's some good stuff. There is some logical stuff to it, but it's a joke. It's a meme. The Boring Tunnel or the Boring Company. He said that started out of a joke. Like, let's just dig underground. Everything he does. SpaceX. He wanted to buy rockets from the Russians. And then he did, back in the napkin math, back in the hand math or the napkin math on a flight, and was like, I think we can do it as long as we make them reusable. It wasn't a joke, but he likes doing things that way. So I think he's very serious. Mark Benioff bought Time Magazine. This is the guy from Salesforce. Why did he do that? Power, influence. I'm going to end with a video here on this topic. Jeff Bezos, these are his, These are his peers. Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post for pennies for these guys. That's pennies for him. Elon Musk is worth more than that in billions. In thousands of millions, he's worth more than 250. But he has big aspirations for Mars, and he might have to use a lot of his own money for that. He wants to get to a trill. He wants to get to a trillion to be the first one there. But he could buy ABC. He could buy any company. He could create his own university. Jeff Bezos said something to the effect one of his, he's Amazon, of course. You would think that's his most proud moment. He said something about the Washington Post was his most proud possession. I'm just paraphrasing. He was very proud of it. Why? Because he can shape the news. He can shape culture. He can give opinions. You've got these conflicts of interest. That's what I'm going to get into with the Jeff Zucker stuff. Jeff Bezos getting into the conflict of interest. He's got his own newspaper. What are they going to write about Amazon? On a side note, I just saw this today. Jeff Bezos, his mega yacht is so big. This is how this dude rolls. The Dutch are going to have to take apart his historic bridge to let it go through. Yeah, buying these things. Elon could do that if he wanted to. He's saving his money for Mars. But buying up these media companies is nothing. People have gone to these alternative platforms, and we have seen, I believe this is from the Washington Post, what we've seen is a plateau. So you first get on there like getter, you get on there, you get a lot of followers, and it's so segmented. I think that's the reason. It's so segmented. It's hard to keep the trajectory going up as time goes on, as far as gaining followers. There's just too many. I can't follow all this stuff. Why is it important? Look at this. This is from Colorado State, which I love Colorado State, Fort Collins, much respect, great restaurants, great town. But this is embarrassing. This is when Charlie Kirk and TPUSA came to town. They said, this is a sign. It said, if you or someone you know are affected by a free speech event on campus, here are some resources. It's a trigger sign. Why am I bringing this up? The universities are raising, well, these are young adults, but they are molding the minds of young adults. See, the sign is not just to help you if you get triggered. I think it's more about saying you should be triggered. Remember when Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live? They had to have a safe room. This is where they're getting it from. They're setting them up to think maybe you weren't triggered by TPUSA, or you didn't know who they were or what, and you see this sign, you're like, oh, maybe I should be triggered. It's indoctrination, and these universities are all leftist, basically. So it's time to start anew. I talked about the University of Austin. I'm not endorsing it, but I'm endorsing their attempt. We have to see how they execute, but they can do that. Elon can do his own. We got to get these people who are high up, have money. I hate bringing up his name, but George Soros, he takes his money and he does what he believes with it. Are there any billionaires that are going to do that for us, for lack of a better term? Tesla supporters don't have the luxury of being apolitical anymore. I'm going to end with a video. None of us have a luxury, in my opinion, of being apolitical. Don't be political just to be political. You have to educate yourself. Talked about that with ASAP Rocky yesterday. But this administration considers, if you're a Tesla supporter, considers you political enemies. And you're going to hear that in the video a little bit. I said props to, this is Gali, highly respected in the Tesla community. Love this dude. His energy, I wish I could speak and think as fast as he does. If you watch some of the videos on the channel, it might be better in 1.5 or 2x speed. But for him, he's already at 1.5. You don't need to speed it up. And I said, props to this dude for having the courage. You'll hear it in this video multiple times. He brings up, I'm not political. I'm queuing it up. Sorry. I'm not political, but I have to stand up. Let's listen to this.
So today we've got to talk about the state of the US government not acknowledging Tesla. This is one of the, I don't like to get political. This is one of the weirdest things I've seen go down, but it's just, as an American citizen, I'm not gonna lie, I've been extremely disappointed. And this is just, I don't know what's going on, because we all want the climate to be greener. We all want to transition to electric vehicles. The US, which is the home to Tesla, the company which is one of the fastest growing companies of all time, $1 trillion market cap, selling millions of electric vehicles now, on its way to electrifying the entire world's transportation system, catalyzing the shift to electric vehicles. Literally the most inspiring story that's happened in my lifetime. Obviously I'm biased as a Tesla shareholder, but nobody was doing the electric car before Tesla. Nobody deserves more credit than Tesla. And President Biden and the entire US administration has ignored Tesla, has leaned into all the other companies, and it's just frustrating. It's killing me. Check out this new news. So President Biden tweets, he's like, as a lot of folks know, I'm a car guy. I've gotten the chance to drive some pretty awesome vehicles, but I could have never imagined the electric vehicles that I've took for a spin today. The future is electric and it'll be made right here in America. And it's like, first of all, you're driving a GM car that doesn't exist, ignoring the Model 3, the best-selling premium electric car in the world right now, the best-selling premium car of any kind in the world.
So I'll stop. He's talking about the political games that are being played. And to tie this in, I'm going to play a little bit more after this, though. To tie it in, is Joe Biden obviously has the media on his side. So he's doing all these things, and nobody in the media is saying, well, why are you ignoring Tesla, one of the greatest American companies of all time? My point is, Elon's got to do what Jeff Bezos did. He has no choice. Jeff Bezos has his own media company, his own newspaper, his own publication to write down. I know it's propaganda. I want Elon to deal in the truth. I do. But you've got to have a way to get your side out there. This is an informational battle.
World right now, which is built by a US company called Tesla at a factory called Numi that GM actually abandoned, but no mention of that. So I was like, okay, that's weird. Biden's just doing his thing, and the reason why this is, let me cut to the chase here. We look at the US as this not corrupt country. we think of ourselves as American citizens like, oh, it's the fairest country. This is where everything happens. Like all these other countries are corrupt. It's like, nah, what I've realized is the US is just as, if not more corrupt than any other country on the planet. We just call our bribery, I call it, or they call it lobbying. Lobbying is institutionalized bribery. Lobbying is a way where you pay politicians, you support them, you pay for their campaign, then they kind of owe you one because they got into office from your funding, and then they start writing legislation in your favor. They only talk about you because other companies didn't pay them. So
it gets me so hyped. This is an apolitical dude who I've followed for quite some time. Very smart in the market, really smart dude. He is, believe it or not, he's apolitical. He never got into politics. He's going to tell you a little bit more about himself here, about how he voted. But it gets me so hyped to see him get active. He's like, I've had enough of this. The mainstream media is not covering this properly. I'm going to cover it.
To incentivize other companies to pay them in the future. They will only mention the companies that paid them in the past. So of course, you have this entire thing where the unions who build all these cars and the car companies are one of the biggest contributors to the political system, and our politicians only, they're going to pretend like they want the green revolution. They're going to pretend like they want electric cars, but they only want that if you're paying them. It's such bullshit, and it really just pisses me off as an American. So that's why I'm making this video, even though I don't get political. But listen to what Biden says. This is what got me kind of like on one. It's like, okay, in the auto industry, Detroit is leading the world. Okay, please, if you're a Tesla fan, keep a straight face while I read this, because I know it's gonna sound ridiculous. In the auto industry, Detroit is leading the world in electric vehicles. You know how critical it is, Mary? I remember talking to you way back in January about the need for America to lead in electric vehicles. I can remember your dramatic announcement that by 2035, GM would be 100% electric. You changed the whole story, Mary. You did it, Mary. You electrified the entire automotive industry. I'm serious. You led, and it matters, said.
That reminded me of We Did It, Joe, the Kamala Harris meme. Well, it actually happened, turned into a meme.
Biden. I'm like, this is why nothing you fucking say matters, Biden, because it's 100% bullshit. Like, okay, and I'm saying this, I hate to get political, and I'm like, I know it's really taboo to say who you voted for in our country, which I think is really dumb and messed up. But if you said who you voted for on a YouTube channel with a bunch of people watching, I hope you wouldn't judge me too much. But the fact is, I voted for President Biden. So for me to be beefing with him and disappointed, like, yeah, like I want to speak up because like I voted for you, dog, and this is a joke, and this isn't what I voted for. Like 2035, like in 2011, Tesla was selling 100% electric vehicles. 24 years ago was the first car company selling electric vehicles. GM saying in 2035 we'll get there, and you're leading. Look at the sales. The sales is the GM's number one electric vehicle, the Chevy Bolt, has been outsold by the Tesla 10-1 in the US, even more globally, 10-1. For every 10 GM Bolts, they sell a Tesla. But guess what? It's even worse than that. Tesla's cars cost twice as much as the Chevy Bolt. So on a dollar revenue basis, it's a 20-1 comparison. So it's just, and first of all, Chevy Bolt sales are down 21% in Q3 2021. They've had to just recall all 141,000 Chevy Bolts ever made because they're all blowing up. It's like literally not electrifying the future. It's what numbers are you using? Mathematically, Tesla has led in electric vehicle sales in the US every single year for the past decade. It's not even close.
Why is this happening? Because they're not playing the political game. How does this matter to the bigger picture? The same political games they're playing with Tesla, an American company. They're playing with the pandemic, race, war, yada, yada, yada. So we need someone to counter. It's bigger than Tesla. I'm just using Tesla as an example. We need somebody to counter this. Why not Elon? Let's go. Let's do this, E-Dog, let's do this. Let me know what you think.